The entire thing was caught on camera. It happened right here at these steps where it appears Bradley came out of this door, brandished a weapon quickly, and then shot the victim multiple times. This ticket right here is all the rage, and folks along our Gulf Coast are trying to get their hands on it before Saturday. Take a look at the massive amount of trees surrounding me. This is just some of the vegetation debris, saying there needs to be an end to the cycle of gun violence that has affected so many families across our area. Now let me just show you how massive this sinkhole is. I have a measuring tape inside, and not only is it 12 feet wide, it's also over 10 feet deep. With the lifeguard season kicking off, beach officials are asking folks to remain cautious when enjoying our beautiful beaches. It was electric. It was raining beads and moon pies. As you see, I got my own and I'm not letting them go. In addition to poor highway lighting, if you see behind me, you can see the only thing lighting this highway tonight is when cars reflect their headlights onto these cones. Along with officers around the venue protecting the area, they also had an alcohol ban. It just did, Andrea. The cannon just went off for the second time. It's going to go off one more time, so if you see me jump, that is why. The senseless act was all caught on camera, but what it didn't show was folks going into fight or flight mode. But a warning, this video may be disturbing to some. It is so fun, Kim. I'm just getting pelted with beads and confetti. I'm wrapped in it. Well, if you look behind me, you can see a massive amount of smoke coming out of the top of this home. Now some pharmacy chains have started limiting how much medication you can buy. And they were already decked out in beads, catching moon pies, and ready to let the good times roll. A Mobile family is recovering after a car careened into the side of their house off Stanton Road Sunday night. It started as a police pursuit and ended, police say, with the driver dead.
I heard a big boom, power went out, and then I heard screaming. Instincts was just rushed out of the tub in the dark, and I managed to get to her, and she just kept screaming hysterically.
Police say the driver was 34-year-old Joseph Pritchett, who they say was driving at a high rate of speed. Officers began a pursuit, and they say Pritchett lost control of the car and smashed through the side of the Green's house.
Within the time frame of like maybe not even 5 minutes, it's already like over 10 police vehicles here at the house.
You can see the tire marks that led to the bedroom where Myra Edwards was sleeping, and it woke her up around 8:30 as she saw a car coming through her home.
I initially said, is that a tree just fell on the house? And I thought, no, it's not hurricane season, weather is fine. By the time I moved the bricks and the wood off my skin and ran to the door, I'm like, oh my goodness, it was so many police officers out here. It was most definitely scary.
According to police reports, Pritchard had a lengthy criminal history dating back to 2010 with outstanding warrants. Suspects running from the police is becoming more and more common in our streets. NBC 15 checked Mobile police reports. We found there have been at least 70 police pursuits since July. The family says something needs to be done to address the growing problem of police pursuits to protect the public and officers.
I know they've been having issues with high-speed chases here lately. And it's about time that they get it right.
How could this been prevented to where someone lost their life? I lost my home. My home is not livable. How could different measurements been taken?
If you stay in Mobile, everyone knows that this sort of thing does not go on out west in West Mobile. Not high-speed chases and crashing into people's homes and not just caring, getting that adequate care from the law enforcement.
On top of the chaos, the board's lawyer was served papers claiming that the resolution would harm their property. Customers were outraged Monday after a proposed resolution to halt all new water and sewer services in Alabama Village.
People in the area walking around with AR-15,
It's absolutely just horrible the way that those people are being treated. And so this is a human rights issue. You know, and we need to have compassion in our hearts when we're in leadership to know that the least among us are the ones that we have to take care of.
As the meeting was in session, the Pritchard Water Board's lawyer was suddenly served with papers by an Alabama Village couple claiming that the resolution would harm their community and their property values.
With a lawsuit directed to to the Pritchard Waterworks and Sewer Board.
Are we next to be like Alabama Village? Shame on all of y'all. Shame on you.
This only added fuel to the already heated situation, and tensions rose even higher.
I think they still have every intention of trying to cut off Alabama Village for whatever their purposes are, and I don't think that's right.
Several customers expressed their disappointment with the board's lack of transparency and communication, many calling for them to toss the resolution.
That it would allow for multiple situations, but first and foremost, I couldn't buy, if you owned a property there and I bought it from you, I couldn't get water to the property. Therefore, they're making the property in itself worthless to anybody. My wife tried to point this out. If I was on the water bill and I passed, she might not be able to put the water bill now in her name, so she's cut off. What has she got? She has a house that she doesn't have any water, and it's a worthless property.
Ultimately, the board members decided to table the resolution until they could discuss the issue and come to an agreement.
Because had they passed the resolution as it was written, that would have meant they had the right to turn off all of the services over there, not just the new services.
The lawsuit served against the board can still be avoided if the board makes proper changes to their Alabama Village proposal.
He was saying, Mom, I can't move anything. You need to pray for me. Pray for me now, right now, Mom.
Back in October, Marvin Martin, or as some call him MJ, saw his world turn upside down as he had injured his spine during football practice.
It's always a scary scenario and one that you just, you hate to see those things.
I know I was going up to make a tackle, and I just fell. When I fell, I couldn't move nothing.
You okay? Okay.
After weeks of staying in the hospital and relearning how to walk, write, and eat again through rehab, Martin says it's been an eye-opening experience.
At first I couldn't move nothing. It was hard. At the beginning it got hard, but it got easier. Once on my leg, I got to be able to walk, and my hands started to move a lot more.
Now, Martin stands tall, and his family saying they're thankful for the support, but the journey to recovery is not over yet.
I'm back in rehab now, but it's outpatient rehab, and they say it's for 12 weeks.
And with a spinal cord injury, you really don't know. It's just a wait and see progress. And we just wait and see.
After surgery, she will have to undergo out-of-state therapy for speech and to regain basic motor skills. This is 10-year-old Tenila Kitchen from Saraland.
I can hear the queen.
At the age of 6, Tenila started having seizures, 3 years of tests and hospitalizations. She was later diagnosed with a rare disease called Rasmussen's encephalitis.
They don't know where it comes from. It just happens. We are going through a second surgery where they are going to remove basically the whole entire left side of her brain. That particular side of her brain is deteriorating. And it's at a point where they want to remove it so that it doesn't damage the other side. And also it could help to relieve most of her seizures.
In December of 2020, Tenila underwent surgery to remove 3 portions of the left side of her brain to help with seizures and halt progression. After the surgery, she got a fever, pushing her stay in the hospital and racking up the bill. To add on top of that, the disease progressed.
There was a copay for $14,000 for the last surgery. The last one, our estimated time was supposed to be a 2-week period. We ended up literally in the hospital for 2 whole months.
Tenila's mother, Sonia Kitchen, says preparing for the second surgery has not been easy, as they are now facing a financial strain to maintain basic needs such as food, living, and medical travels.
Financially, it is a strain. Social Security is not very much. And of course, when they remove her check, then that puts a bigger strain on us as far as bills, rent.
Now the Kitchen family is coming forward, asking the public for help.
Items or services that we might be able to raffle off for fundraisers. Anybody willing to let us put donation jars in their businesses.
24 people were killed when a tornado and damaging storms swept through Mississippi and parts of Alabama last night. Ahead of Daytona 500, we're getting a look at some of the drivers and crew members that broke down racial and gender barriers in the sport's 75 years. Meteorologist Ryan Sennett has been tracking this system. Ryan, active weather continues for our inland communities. Controversial move to hire police officers is getting some pushback from former cops. Some departments departments are changing fitness standards. The annual Azalea Trail Run took place today, drawing runners from all over the country to participate in one of the nation's premier 10K road races. Attorneys representing the 5 former Memphis police officers charged in the death of Tyree Nichols began to reveal how their defense will take shape. Well, today, downtown Mobile was alive with the sound of music as the city's favorite Mardi Gras band celebrated its 140th anniversary. Quiet Spanish Fort neighborhood was interrupted by the sound of gunfire today. Cooks from around the area came together to test their Cajun cooking skills. Loved ones gathered together to pay their respects to Zykorian Harris, a young man who was shot and killed at a beauty supply store in Sims. An immigration loophole has been closed at the U.S.-Canada border. The Memphis NAACP, along with state representatives and local leaders, called for the U.S. Department of Justice to conduct a pattern and practice investigation of the Memphis Police Department. Well, today some members of the Mobile Police Department are wearing a few extra stripes on their shoulders. A warning today about a little known compound in your blood that can raise your risk of a heart attack.